do. Hello, hello, hello. So we're just gonna pop in quickly to England, where most of the top hat smockle wearing chaps are tossers, wankers, lags, and barmy chav gits pillocks. I can't even read all this. There must be a lot of fucking idiots in England to have that many variety of the word. It's outstanding. I think that's why they have this like la-ti-da posh accent, so you're more intrigued with like how they're saying it, thinking that they're some kind of scholar. Meanwhile, they're just some kind of knobhead skivers. But let's begin. Did you know England was founded in the 1707? Yeah. This country is full of lads where most of the conversation is about moaning about the weather, the Beatles, and how their dick is spotted, with some passive-aggressive, sarcastic remark by the lingers, ankle-biters, gannet, airy-fairies, and daft cows. Speaking of which, if you had a few to drink and you fancy that cow, make sure it's after sundown. It's illegal to walk down the street with her. And if you catch a whale, make sure you text the Queen and so you could offer it to her. I read last year that 10 had washed up. Can you just like picture the Queen sitting there on her throne, minding her own business, do, and then the carpet rolls out, the sprinkles are flying in the air, 2 rows of trumpets, do, and then the man comes out with a long scroll saying, "Madam Queen, another whale has washed up at shore." Ho, 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 ho. I checked this out. It's a still going law. It really makes you wonder, like, what what were they stuffing in that whale? Was it a secret message? A secret passage? Like, it's pretty sus. And as the English would say, it's no oil painting. And I was also told that they're obsessed with cues and how important they are and how they take the cue very seriously. And also how they find it annoying since the cues are all over the place. Cues for that, cues for this, which I don't know why they love the letter Q so much. I prefer the letter E, but I guess queen is a Q. Q is for a queen. I don't know, it's England. And between all these cups of teas and pints, and I've been running to the loo quite frequently, my dear Johnsons, and I think this is. And did you know all the bathrooms are made out of carpet? Yeah, every person has a carpeted bathroom. I think this is why they have that je ne sais quoi type of attitude, because all they could smell is that deep old eau de toilette, if you know what I mean. Now, if you're hungry, just hold off and get your butt over to France. There's nothing appealing about eating spotted dicks or boiled tomatoes on toast or eating blood pudding or even kidney pie. And who could forget? They're obsessed with fucking beans. Beans! Beans! They conquered the whole world and they're just stuck on beans. Like beans and tea. I went to one shop and I was like, "Hey, can I get a Timmy's?" And they just me. Like everywhere I went in England, there, here, everywhere. Like it's like saying I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed. But you know what it is true? That every bloke here has met the Queen or they're in some kind of relations. And everyone at least owns one memorabilia or a British flag apparel. Yeah, it's kind of odd. And one thing I've learned that once a year they charm worms. Charm worms. I think they pick like the best man from each street and then they dig up some worms and see which worm could blush first. Smogging and neck it up. Now, if you didn't think that's weird, they got a gurning championship. So basically, the ugliest chap wins. Which makes me think, when they got like the world pageants and stuff, you never really see Brits participating. I guess they have to make their own competition. What plunkers! And did you know they eat nettles? Like for funsies? Yeah. And if you don't know what nettles are, it's like a plant that you're not even supposed to touch. Not to like digest. They just like num 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 for sport. Yeah. And more for sports, they got an underground cheese rolling steep hill ankle bending race. That's right. Underground. It's all like hush hush and stuff, you know? It's like Fast and Furious with like cheese, man. They should like make a movie like that. There you see the slow motion cheese wheel going down the hill. Everyone's looking at each other and they're racing against the clock, bumping and scraping and falling down. One dude tries to fall and his big bro picks him up and he's like, "We're family," and takes him at the bottom. And by the time they got there, they're all full of like grass rashes and they look up and they realize they made it last place. Whoopity-doo, Basil. But next time you see a Brit lad, give him the old tango slap. They will mostly enjoy it. It first started off as a commercial. Anyone drinking some like orange pop, they would sneak around and slap them. They had such a good time that even when the commercial stopped, they kept going. So be sure to do that. And speaking of tango, I was out and I managed to record a real live local dude singing in his own habitat. Let's take a listen.
Well, it's just a little city girl living in a small town world, drinking tea and going anywhere. Governor!
Wow, lassie, you surely owned yourself a good J20 and a piece of caterpillar face cake. So between the rain and the constant fog in the streets that has more rats than those fake tan sprayed bellends that need to put a pin on their nose 'cause the street smells like manure, I'd say skip over this country. I'm pretty gutted. Smacked head really. So bobbed your uncle. This was a good old chagwag. I gotta go spend a penny. Le boop.